Hey everybody, and welcome to the intersection of sports and marketing. I'm Brian Cristiano, and this is episode 24 of OUTOFSCOPE, Why Being Inauthentic Will Kill Your Sports Brand. All you marketers out there need to listen to this.
Sports marketing expert Brian Cristiano.
Brian Cristiano.
Marketers and advertisers and brands always have to keep in mind, you have to play to the state of your audience.
Endurance sports athletes are absolutely fanatics.
Having a Facebook page doesn't get you any business, but doing it right can be quite effective.
So doing that episode on the other day on Tom Brady and how his suspension would be good for the Patriots in the NFL has got me some interesting comments in the Twitter sphere. Clearly some very strong, passionate people talking about why Tom Brady shouldn't have been suspended at all, and why there's no evidence and all this stuff. I would pretty much assume that you're New England Patriots fans, which is fine. Totally fine. But that wasn't the topic of discussion. I wasn't talking about whether or not he should or shouldn't have been suspended, whether or not Roger Goodell should have upheld it, or any of that stuff. That is not my place to discuss. I'll leave that up to those experts. But as far as the marketing side and the brand side goes, I completely stand by my statement and say that it's actually good for Brady. It's good for the NFL. It's good for the Patriots. And in fact, a couple of people even commented and said that, it's destroying Tom Brady's brand and it's hurting him, et cetera, et cetera. I call total bullshit. It's not hurting his brand whatsoever. It's actually helping his brand. Nobody cares that it did or didn't happen. No sponsors are going to pull out from Tom Brady. He's not going to lose any commercial time or sponsorships. The only thing is he's going to be sitting on the bench for the first 4 games, getting a bigger chip on his shoulder, and he's going to come out game 5 and everybody's going to pay attention. That's the only thing that's going to happen. That's not going to hurt him. With that said, today's topic is, why being inauthentic will kill your sports brand. It's unbelievable how much I'm always taken back at when people try to argue the point of coming up with some sort of social media or PR plan for people, not brands. I'm not talking about companies. That's a very different story. But for people, right? For sports athletes and their personal brand, and coming up with some sort of social media strategy. You know what social media strategy needs to be for athletes? Give the athlete their cell phone and have them put something on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. That's your strategy. It needs to be authentic. It has to be the actual athlete engaging with their fan base, period. There is no other end of the discussion. I had a conversation on Twitter, it was 2 weeks ago, I think, with some woman who is a professional social media person who manages multiple athletes' brands, and she was very passionate and had a very strong stance on, I'm not going to mention her name, I'm sure you can find it if you look at my Twitter conversation history, but she had a very strong stance that these players need someone to manage their social media. They need someone to tweet on their behalf, etc. I call total bullshit again. I think it's ridiculous, and I think if any athlete has someone tweeting for them, that they should fire them immediately. No questions asked. Get the hell out of here, because it's completely inauthentic. I don't want to hear from some girl in the back office or from some guy in the back office. I won't want to hear their opinion on what they think that Tom Brady or what they think that some other professional athlete should be tweeting out. I want to hear what Tom Brady actually has to say. I want to hear what any other professional athlete has to actually say and what they think. And you know what? The conversation on that side was, well, they're going to mess up sometimes. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's what being authentic is, right? It's not about always being correct and towing the PR line. I think that's why, and again, I hate to bring it back to politics, but I think it's so poignant. That's why people seem to be drawn to the Donald Trump run for president thing. And I'm not taking political sides either way. I really don't give a crap. However, The difference is, and I don't care about his beliefs or anything like that, I'm not talking about the specifics. What I am talking about is he's the first guy that's come out and talked so bluntly, talked so just off the cuff, not giving a damn, not towed some political PR line, and pissing everyone off on every side. But that's what's creating the interest, because people are like, wait a minute, this isn't some polished telepromptered speech, he's actually just talking, and that's the difference. And I think that that's the big social shift that we're seeing as a culture to going, hey, people are real and people need to just kind of talk and say what it is. And sometimes people are going to say stupid crap and sometimes people are going to mess up, but that's what makes it authentic. If anyone really thinks that some, polished PR, pre-manipulated conversation on social media for some athlete is going to increase their brand value, I'm sorry, you're absolutely wrong. That athlete needs to be the person actually sending out those messages. Now, I'm not saying that they don't need someone to help them manage this, right? That they might get thousands or hundreds and thousands or hundreds of thousands of tweets or messages a day, and maybe they need someone to filter through that and say, hey, reply to this person, or here's some people that really, have been following you and trying to talk to you for weeks, you should engage with them. I think that's totally fine, right? Helping them steer, having some handler steer them in the right direction is totally fine. But as far as hiring somebody to tweet for you, give it up. Close your Twitter account, go home. You're done. Right? I don't think that people really understand that that's totally inauthentic. And if they think anyone buys it, they're out of this world. They're out of their mind. Nobody buys it, especially the millennials and younger. The younger that you go in these generations right now, you get into the teens, you get even younger than that, they see through it. They see one tweet and they've written you off if they know that it's not authentic. Right? They really want, and that is the benefit of having social media, right? That's the benefit of having these platforms that you can connect to people instantaneously, whether it's pictures or videos on Instagram, whether it's videos on Vine, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook. You can connect with people instantaneously. You can get instantaneous feedback and you can have live conversations. And that's what really increases the value of a brand for a player, is being able to have genuine conversations. Being able to engage instantaneously, honestly, and tell people how it is and what they think and what they feel. And that is what people like, and that's what they want to hear. Even if it's raw and wrong sometimes and they rub people the wrong way, you can always come back from that if you do it in a genuine way. But if you have some handler doing it for you, give up. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what you think about this. This one's an interesting topic, and I'm sure I rubbed some people the wrong way, but I'm going to stand behind what I said. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks, guys.